Good morning. I'm Fernando Orejas, the person that is the local responsible for everything here. And well, what I want to say is welcome to our university. Actually, on behalf of the rector, I'm happening to be vice rector, so I'm saying welcome to you on behalf of the president. As well, I organized some conferences previously, like ETAPS, and all of them we had terrible weather, big showers. So this time I asked strongly for good weather, and I think it was too loud. So, well, have a nice time. Something that is good about this weather is that probably you would prefer to be in the air conditioning, listening to the talks rather than going outside.
Thank you, Fernando. So I'm Albert Cohen from INRIA and General Chair of PDI. You can find more information about the proceedings and web access on this slide and everywhere else, so don't hesitate to ask if you have any issues. I would like to thank our sponsors who have very generously made this event possible, and we will acknowledge them throughout the conference, and I would like to give them a round of applause right now, please. So, as you may not know, some people here actually came from some conference and don't care or don't know or don't think they actually know anything about the other conferences. So one of the goals of this collocation is actually to make people talk from different communities. So many conferences, like academic conferences, are used to this kind of collocations. So maybe some people here are used to this, but not everyone. So very briefly, so we have conferences talking about compilers, programming languages, program verification, debugging, virtual machines, embedded systems like memory management, runtime systems, a wide area of programming language oriented topics. Also DAPS, which is working on programming language and distributed systems. So it has a pretty broad area. And Carry-On is a quite new model, which is essentially driven towards by this goal of making different communities talk. So Heather will say a few more words about this. But definitely there are people who don't necessarily are experts in programming language. They may be more practitioners. They may be more working on the development rather than on research, and vice versa. So please be open to discussions with all kinds of people with different backgrounds and interests. That's the goal of the conference. So I'm not going to say the numbers, but we are very happy with the total number of registrations and also with the student participation. Again, this is thanks to our sponsors. We could support all the red shirts you see in this room are thanks to our sponsors. Now, okay, I'm not going to release the names of people, but obviously this kind of event is organized by lots of volunteers and also some professionals. So I would just like to say a few words about Annabelle Satin down there, who actually could not come because of personal health reasons. But she has really been the main person coordinating everything behind this collocated event. And again, I would like to send a round of applause to her. So some of the events will be open later. So Antonio, who's sitting down there, will open eCoop, and I didn't see the DEPS chair yet, but so this will be open a bit later. And I also would like to thank Jan and Sofia for essentially making this collocation possible. So there are a bunch of workshops, 16 of those, lots of tutorials. So thanks again for all the organizers. This is thanks to you that we can also bring all these people together. So they will be in different rooms. You can find all the information in the program. And now, Martin, please talk about the PVI program.
All right. Hi, everybody. So I'm Martin. I'm the PC chair for PODI this year. So I just want to quickly summarize the PODI program and PODI-related events here. So we have 3 keynote presentations. Some of them are joined with Carry-On. So Martin Oderski, who is going to be here after this presentation, Martin Abadi today, and Frank Wood from Machine Learning on Wednesday. So we have 48 presentations, so 47 PODI papers accepted, and 1 topless paper, and they're happening, from what I understand, in 2 different buildings, the talks. So here are the rooms. We have the student research competition, which is tomorrow at 5:30, the first round, so you guys can check it out. Some great posters in there. and the finals are on Wednesday. Finally, we have various awards associated with PODI. We have 4 Distinguished Paper Awards. They are going to be announced on Wednesday noon. We have 1 Best Artifact Award, and new this year we have 3 Distinguished Reviewer Awards. Okay, and the 3 awards for the SRC Student Research Competition finalists are going to be announced again on Wednesday lunch. I think we had. Okay, so one more thing. On Tuesday we have the SIG Plan Town Hall meeting. This is going to include a PCCA report from me about various statistics on PODI, accepted papers, areas, and so on. Also, introduction to PODI 2018 by Dan Grossman and Jeff Foster. And also, there's going to be some discussion on PACMPL, the new journal, and whether PODI should join or not. So come and voice your opinions there. So Tuesday at 5 p.m. Okay, so that's it from me. I think Heather is next.
Oh my God, I'm much shorter than everybody else. Okay, so I'm not going to talk a lot about Kurion. I think that if you've registered for Kurion, you kind of have an idea of what Kurion is all about. So as Albert mentioned, the whole idea is to try and bring different communities of people together and start a conversation. So that said, I sent everybody an email last night about sort of what to expect. We have really a super varied audience. We have people who are just beginning in JavaScript programming, and then we have tenured CS professors in some theoretical thing that not everybody knows about. So we have a ridiculous variance sort of people here, which means it's really okay if you have any questions. If you have no idea what somebody's talking about, it's fine to ask. Just everybody should, understand that we all have extremely different backgrounds. It's much more diverse than maybe some of the conferences you normally go to. So really, I encourage you to not be afraid to raise your hand and ask questions. In fact, for these chess timer presentations that we're going to have this afternoon, or I'm sorry, throughout the next 2 days, it's actually required for you to be involved. So 20 minutes of the presentation time is actually audience asking questions, and 20 minutes is the speaker. So you're really going to have to try to ask questions. Really, the whole point is to try and get people who normally don't talk to each other. So that's the general idea of Kurion, and like I said, I really encourage you to ask questions and be open. Actually, I had one more announcement, and I think I put it in the presentation before you froze it. I had a map that I was going to show you. So this morning there's a change in the Kurion program. So the 3rd track on the website and on your badges, this is going to be in the Sala Agora room. We have maps at the registration desk. It's a few minutes walk from here. It's probably around 5 minutes walk from this main auditorium. And that's just for the morning sessions. And after that, it goes back to where it's planned to be, which is not as far. It's across the street. So if you're interested in any of the first 3 talks on the 3rd track of the Kurion program, just note that it's in Sala Agora, and we have a map at the desk. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for coming.
I forgot to say that there will be presentations, very short presentations. We call them 1-minute pitches or 1 minute of madness talks right after the keynote this morning. So the speakers should line up, they already know this, on this side of the wall, right after the keynote or while during the Q&A. This is for PLDI research talks, sorry, yes. And also the other rooms are also near the lunch area. So if you're looking for lunch, you'll find the other rooms. And you'll see all kinds of balloons all over the place.
So some information. The most important one is that there's this metro strike, and this causes that the metro will not be working at the time needed for going from the conference to where the dinner is going to take place. So there are 3 ways of going. Here you have a small sketch of a small description of the 3 ways. 2 are by bus, another one taking a kind of method that we have to walk. In the afternoon session, I will give you more details, including maps and so on. In addition to that, a coffee break immediately after, well, not immediately, at 10:30, I think, is going to be partly here in the outside, partly in the garden that is in front. And then lunches, will be, there's a, close to Aula Master, there's a big marquee, and the lunches will be there. Also there you will have the student research competition reception that will be tomorrow in the afternoon.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, and so at this point, we're now going to start with the joint PLDI Kurian keynote. I hope that many of you know who he is. He's the creator of the Scala programming language, and today he's going to talk to us about a rather mysterious feature of Scala called implicit. So Martin Odersky, please, thanks for speaking.